Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start our section with the topic affinities of metatheria. In one recent video that I have uploaded, I have explained the characteristics of metatheria, and as that video is too lengthy, that's why I didn't add this section along with that. So today in this video, we will see the affinities of metatheria with prototheria and eutherians. Yeah, these marsupials or otherwise metatheria, they show a mixture of primitive and advanced features. First, we are going to see its affinities with prototherians. Which are the affinities? First, presence of cloaca. Cloaca, we know that it is a common opening to eliminate excretory waste as well as the sex cells. So, cloaca is present in both prototheria and metatheria. So, that's what the rectum and urinogenital sinus. All these things are what I have explained in detail in that recent video about the characteristics of metatherian. So, it's not fair to explain it anymore again here. So anyway, rectum and urinogenital sinus, they both open together in a common cloaca. That's a common feature. Then presence of clavicle. Clavicle also I have explained to you earlier. Clavicle is there. That is another common feature. Then as part of pelvic girdle, epipubic bone also present. And tympanic bone, it is in the form of ring in both prototheria and metatheria. The tympanic bulla. What is tympanic bulla? That also I have explained in that video. It is absent in both prototheria and metatheria. And tympanic bone, it is not united with periotic bone. This is also a similar feature between prototheria and metatheria. Regarding the brain, it is relatively smaller in both prototheria and metatheria. Large olfactory bulbs are there, and also anterior commissures also there. All those things I have explained detail in that video. So corpus callosum we know is a nerve band connecting the two hemispheres that also absent in both prototheria and metatheria. Then true allantoic placenta, it is absent in both. And vesicula seminalis, it is absent in males in the case of both prototheria and metatheria. So the affinities are over. Then we are going to see what are the differences between prototheria and metatheria. Differences with the prototherians. These metatherians have well-developed pinna, but it is absent in the case of prototheria. In the case of metatheria, well-developed pinna is present. And also metatherians have well-developed marsupium that is absent in prototheria. In the case of metatherians, vertebrae are with epiphysis. Epiphysis means that cartilaginous body of the vertebrae that connects with the next vertebrae. This one. Epiphysis. Okay. So, vertebrae are with epiphysis in the case of metatherians. Ribs are bicephalous means two heads are present in anterior and posterior end to connect with its corresponding bones. There is no interclavicle. What is interclavicle? That also I have shown to you in the former video of these metatherians. So interclavicle also not present in the case of the metatherian as a difference from prototherian. Then coracoids. Coracoid is a shoulder bone. It is reduced in metatherians. That is much similar to that eutherians, placentals. And by that way, it differs from prototherian. What differ? Metatherians differ from prototherians. Then regarding the teeth, all the adult possess teeth, only one set. One set means in the whole lifespan, there is only one set of teeth. That is a feature of metatheria, differ from prototherians. Cochlea, we know what is cochlea. It is spirally coiled, but in the case of prototheria, it is partially coiled. Okay. These metatherians are viviparous. And uterine gestation, in the uterus, gestation is happening in the case of metatherians. But in the case of monotremes, that is prototherian, it is not so. And testis, where it is located in the case of metatherians, it is located in the scrotal sacs. But in prototherians, it is abdominal. And glans penis is bifoot. I have shown you in that video about the metatherian what is bifoot penis. Yes, glans penis. It is bifoot in the case of metatherians. That is another difference from prototherians. Next, we are going to see the affinities of metatherian with the eutheria, advanced mammals. Metatherians have many advanced features similar to eutherians or higher placental mammals. What are those features? Presence of hairs. Presence of hairs, an advanced feature like that of advanced mammals. And second one, presence of external ear, that is pinna, that we have seen in the former slide also. Pinna is well developed like that of eutherians. Okay, then third point is that a sebaceous mammary gland with tet is present in the case of metatherians like that of eutheria. Then coracoids. Coracoids I will show you in the former slide also I have mentioned. Again I am just showing you coracoid. Coracoid is this bone, shoulder bone. It is highly reduced. And also interclavicle is absent like that of eutherians. Ribs also bicephalous, means anterior and posterior NB is heard. Teeth is heterodont. Heterodont means teeth are of different sizes, different shapes. They are incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Then the brain is with 4 optic lobes. And cochlea is present. It is spirally coiled, that we have already seen in the former slide. And testis is present. It is located inside the scrotal sac. Presence of erectile penis. That is another feature showing affinity to eutheria in the case of male metatherians. And in females, uterus and vagina are present in the oviduct. That is another similar feature with the eutherians. And all the metatherians are viviparous like eutheria. Ova is microlecital, that is with a small amount of yolk. Then uterine gestation and placenta also present in metatherians like that of eutheria. These are all the affinities of metatheria with the eutheria. Next, we are going to see the difference of metatheria with eutherians. Metatherians have a restricted distribution, that is mainly in Australia and America. But in the case of eutherians, they have a wide distribution. That is another difference. That is one difference of the metatherians from eutherians. Next, presence of marsupial pouch, but eutherians doesn't possess that marsupial pouch. That is another difference of metatherian from eutherian. Then regarding the number of incisors, the number of incisors is more in the case of this metatherians in both the jaws when compared with the eutherians. Then regarding the some bonds, temporal bonds, periotic and squamosal, they remain separate in the case of metatheria. It is not the same in eutherians. Then jugal bond. Jugal bond means, I will show you jugal bonds. Yeah, jugal bone is this bone. It extended backward to give a glenoid cavity to give attachment for the lower jaw. So that is what jugal bone. So jugal bone, in the case of metatherians, it extend back and participate in forming the glenoid cavity forward for giving articulation to the lower jaw. So that is not in the same pattern in eutherians. There is another difference. And also this metatherians possess well-developed epipubic bones associated with that pelvic girdle. Okay, and And also the ventral posterior border, ventral and posterior border of the lower jaw. Lower jaw is somewhat modified inwardly. It is modified some form in the case of metatherians. There is another difference from eutherians. Then corpus callosum. Corpus callosum is absent in the case of metatherian in its brain, but it is not so in eutherians. And paramels is an metatherian. In the case of this one, only a true chorioallantoic placenta is present. But that placenta, it is absorbed after the birth of the egg. All the others possess only yolk sac placenta. That already we have seen in the former slide. Allantoic placenta is generally absent. Only in paramales, in the case of metatherians, a true chorioallantoic placenta is present, but that too will absorb after the birth of the young one. So that is another difference when compared to eutherians. Next, this metatherians possess a pair. That means in that former video regarding the characteristics of metatherians, I have shown the uterus of kangaroo. In that picture, you have seen that more than one uterus is present, and also more than one vagina is present. So that is another difference of metatherians from eutherians. A pair of uteri and vagina are present in females, and each vagina has separate opening into the urogenital canal. That is another difference of metatherian from eutherian. And in male, the penis is bifid in the case of metatherians, but eutherians it is not bifid. And it is behind the scrotal sacs. And gestation period is brief. In the gestation period is there, but it is brief in the case of metatherians. That is another difference from eutherians. Okay. With this, we have finished today's section and class. Thank you.
I'm an icon, man. And my girl about a 10. I should fuck her in the Benz.